Good evening, and welcome to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, as well as anyone in between and beyond. This is another quaint little ASMR video. I hope I caught you doing well, but if not, then once again, I hope that I can at least improve your mood a little bit. My name is Ervande, and once again I'm feeling a little experimental. And you might have noticed that, because today we're trying layered sounds. Now, I'm not trying to get into the specifics too much right away or get too technical here, but as I've probably said before, my microphone is mono. There is no stereo to be heard, right? Which is why there is no binaural sounds in my videos normally, and that's one of the big reasons why I label all of my videos lo-fi, because usually for ASMR videos you will have different sound on your right ear than on your left ear, but not in my videos, or not normally. But I am trying to do a little stereo experiment by recording 3 different audio tracks and layering them on one on the left ear, one on the right ear, and the rambling one which you hear right now. And I'm trying to get a cool effect that way. I don't know if it works. And obviously, and this is me stating facts instead of complaining or anything, but it's obviously triple the work to record 3 different audio tracks. So I hope it works out well, and I hopes, yes. Furry speech enabled, I guess. No, I hope that it sounds good and that it works. But I'll see, and I won't know until I've done it and tried it and listened back to it. But regardless, as I said, I hope you're all doing well. To address the elephant in the room, and this is where I usually would say that I am the elephant in the room, because I am a little heavy, but no, the elephant in the room this time is my absence once again, which I've not uploaded for, I don't know, 9 days now. But again, I strive to upload every week, and it's getting a little old at this point that I'm not doing that. I'm trying my best, okay? Which is not entirely true, because if I tried my best, then I would be more disciplined. Once again, I'm just talking without really thinking. I am listening to myself live while recording. That always messes up my mind. But yeah, I wanted to record this video for a very long time, and I got the idea from a YouTube comment, which I'm absolutely gonna show on screen right now. And it wasn't exactly this, what I'm doing right now, but it was talking about like layered sounds, which is a great idea. And I wanted to do it for a long time. It's just that I'll say it is easy for me to find half an hour to record something before I go to work. It is a little more difficult to find 1.5 hours before going to work to record stuff, but I didn't want to work on it multiple days or record on different days, because then I'm not in the flow, and this is why I'm recording today, today being Saturday. Yeah, I don't know, but that's kind of the reason. It's no excuse, but it's a reason for why the video has taken me this long. Other than that, once again, I am amazed, but also confused why my last video got 4-digit views again. I don't know, algorithm be doing stuff, I don't know. But apparently it works, and I like that it does. I've received many cool comments once again, and especially comments on my dumb little community posts. And I do have to say something just to let you know. You've probably noticed it, but I try to include all of the comments in the video that I receive, right? And I screenshot them, and then I reply to them. That's usually how I do it, because then I'm taking the time to work quote unquote on the comments, reply to them, interact with them. The thing is, I do also see when people reply to my community posts, but I generally don't include those comments in the videos, because technically it is a very nice way of kind of giving a recap of the last video if I take comments from that last video and include them in the next one, because it is kind of, the comments are at least partly about the content of that last video, and the comments from the community posts are completely random in comparison, right? Because they're not about the contents of the last video. And I don't, it's not that I don't care about the community post comments that I receive, and obviously I still react to them, and I interact with them and reply to them. I feel like it's a bit much to include them in the video, and for better or worse, and at risk of sounding arrogant, I don't know if there would be too many comments if I included community post comments as well. And I don't know how long I will be able to include comments under the regular videos, because they're shaping up to become a lot. The comments that I receive on my latest videos are obviously a lot more in numbers than the ones that I received on older videos. And I'm obviously no Markiplier, so I don't have to think about the thousands of comments that are left under the videos, obviously. And if that were ever the case where I had like 3-digit, 4-digit comments under the videos, I don't know if I could even fit them all into the video. But I'm very far from that. Maybe I'll never reach that level, and that would be fine, honestly. But yeah, just kind of to give you a behind the scenes look at how I interact with your comments. I do read all of them, and it is. And I talked to some friends about this. Usually, what I do is before I go to bed, I pick up my phone and I just look at my channel and see if something has changed, if there's a new comment. And there have been some comments that I received that are incredibly insane. And I read them, and then I'm absolutely not able to fall asleep right away. Because I'm either laughing my ass off, or I'm kind of worried. Like, being called hot is certainly something that I didn't expect. And I don't understand it, frankly. I don't see it. Sorry, but that was a comment that I read, and I was like, what's happening? This is weird. And then a week later, someone commented, I'm sorry. A week later, someone commented, and it was like, I'm just out here trying to find out if he's single. Which, by the way, was a fact in the 51 Facts video. So, watch that to learn more about me, about all the important questions that you could have about me. But no, absolutely insane. Okay, on to other. Yes, indeed. On to other topics. And there's a very, very big topic to get into. Not important, but it's just a cool little thing, and that would be Warframe. I have talked about Warframe before on the channel, probably. But I got a friend of mine to play Warframe now with me. I'm always dancing around it. I'll just give a shout out to Vitamin CD. That's who I play Warframe with, or who I got to play Warframe, basically by streaming the game in the voice chat on Discord. Warframe is a fantastic game with its own quirks and little weird systems, obviously, but the story is really fucking cool. The gameplay is unique. The premise, and I've said this in other videos before, is cyborg ninjas in space. That's Warframe. There's more lore, obviously, but that's the general gist of it. And I'm really happy that I got them to play the game. Because, first of all, the game is amazing, obviously. But for the longest time, I've been playing it solo. And there's only so much joy I can derive from playing the game solo. I want to play with other people, and I want to have these co-op missions and these funny moments, instead of sitting by my lonesome and grinding the same mission for hours, as I'm doing right now. I have to do it, and it's incredibly annoying. And like, time zones get in the way of playing together, as they always do. But yeah, no, the game is really fun. There's a lot of fashion that you can do in the game, a lot of customization, which is very enjoyable. It's a very enjoyable part of the game, I would say. But the gameplay of Warframe, to just kind of latch onto a topic, and get into it, is that you have your ship. You have a ship, a spaceship, a cool little spaceship. And you have a galaxy map, for lack of a better term right now, with different planets, and each planet has a lot of different missions, and so there's a variety of missions, like spying on the enemy, exterminating them, which is a big jump in severity. A type of Dominion mode, like in Call of Duty, where you rush to points and you conquer the points, and then you defend them so that the enemy doesn't steal your points. There is kind of a Overwatch hero shooter payload game mode that nobody really plays, so don't worry about that one. There are defense missions where you have an important object in a room, and you have to stop the enemy from destroying the object. And all of these missions are, well, differentiated by the enemies that are on there, the architecture, and the game has incredible world building in the level design, but also by the character you play, because there are obviously different characters you can play. I say obviously as if that was obvious when it wasn't, but yes, there are different characters that you can use and play with, each with their own abilities and quirks. No, that was not a My Hero Academia reference, but it could be if you wanted it to. The one thing that kind of turns people away from the game, and in theory it's a really cool aspect, there are no paywalled items. You can technically get every item that exists in the game just by farming and playing the game, except for some cosmetics. And I do have to say, if the only thing that has to be paid for in a game, especially when the game is as old as Warframe is, are cosmetics, then that's a very good sign. Those do not affect your gameplay at all. They don't change anything, they don't make you stronger or whatever, they don't give you a bonus. You just look better. And then still, you can farm items in the game and sell them to other players. And then you can still buy the 95% of the items that are available in the game. And the 5% of cosmetics that are in the game that you cannot pay with the in-game currency, premium or otherwise, are cosmetics that were designed by players, and you have to pay real money because a cut of the profits goes directly to the person who designed that item. And Warframe definitely wouldn't have to do that if they acted like any other game. They would just take all the profits for themselves, obviously. But not Warframe. They say, hey, you made something cool, you get money for it. Which is fucking insane. And then you cannot go and sell those things for the in-game currency, because how do you calculate the cut that goes to the creator? But Warframe is just a game made by incredible people who really put the community first, and they listen to the community in very fun ways. There was something that came up recently. There is a very specific character who has a scarf on as part of their armor, let's say, and you can bug the game in a way where other characters can have that scarf. I don't know how to recreate that bug, but the person who found that bug reached out via X and asked Warframe if they could make that a feature in the game. That scarf that only one character has would be, usable on other characters. And usually it's not a game-breaking bug, but it's still a bug. And some games would just ban the person, get rid of them, patch the bug out, whatever. And the dev who responded, very politely by the way, said, we cannot make that a feature, but we'll let you have the bug. Continue using it. And so, imagine if EA was in charge of Warframe. They would take that bug and hide it behind a paywall, and then it wouldn't even work. And they would still ban the person who pointed it out for bugging the game. But not DE or Digital Extremes, because they are the coolest devs ever. I said it, and I don't regret it, because it's true. No, but Warframe is incredible. It is a very grind and farm-oriented game. I have to tell you that I probably would have liked knowing that before I got into the game, because I generally do not like farm-focused games where you have to do the same mission 20 times to get a specific item. And the biggest offender, I guess, is if you want to create a new character to play or a new Warframe to play, you first have to build 3 different parts at your foundry, which is kind of your workbench where you create items. And you would have to create new optics, systems, and a chassis. And building one of those takes 12 hours. And you can build multiple things at the same time, so you can definitely build all 3 of those parts at the same time, and then after 12 hours you have all 3 of them ready. And once you do, you can create the new character. However, creating a new character takes 3 days. because the game goes for longevity and it wants you to spend more time playing it. Which is smart, and technically you can use money or the premium currency in the game to speed up the process. You don't have to, but you can. So if you want to count that as, oh, the premium currency gives you an advantage over free-to-play players, sure, you can have that opinion until you learn that, as I said, you farm stuff in game, you sell it to other players, you also have the premium currency, and then technically even free-to-play players could use the premium currency to speed up the process. It's not necessary. It is widely considered to be a waste of money because you're just being impatient. 3 days is a long time, I will give you that, but there's plenty to do and farm while you wait that time. But yeah, I genuinely tell most people that I meet and talk about video games with that they should try out Warframe because it's incredible. It's fun, the community is amazing. There's like 1% of people who are mean or trolls or whatever. Like the majority of the community is just so chill. It's truthfully the opposite of the League of Legends community. Yeah, I mean that. Enough about Warframe though, because the video is getting there in length. I do want to quickly shout out one more thing that I thought was pretty cool. My favorite artist, Zorky, provides all the art for my channel. You might have seen the art. You definitely have seen them if you looked at the thumbnail. And oh my god, by the way, newest artwork is used in the thumbnail. I absolutely forgot to get into that. I find it incredible. I love it. It's so incredibly cool. My favorite artwork yet. Zorky had his birthday yesterday, or I'll say on Friday, because I don't know when I'll actually release this video and upload it, but yes, it was their birthday, and if you want to, then you can hop over to their ex and wish them a happy late birthday. The sad thing is, I always claim to be such a huge fan of Zorky, which I am, and I saw the comment or the post on X where they showed the balloons, because X, formerly Twitter, I like pointing that out, it gives you or has balloons pop up on your profile on your birthday. I saw that and I thought it was just their account anniversary. It didn't register to me that it was their birthday. And luckily, someone else, a good friend on X, DM'd me saying, by the way, today is Zorky's birthday. And I was like, oh my god, how did I miss that? And I immediately went over to Zorky and DM'd them and wished them a happy birthday, obviously, because that's what you do when it's someone's birthday. Yeah. And in response to my question, yeah, right, I need to take a nap, I guess, I don't know. In response to my birthday wishes, Zorky just replied and was really thankful and really appreciative. But they did say, wait, I will probably be able to find it. Yes. They DM'd me and were really thankful and appreciative and said, "Thank you so much, Green Yeen." And that's my username now on X. It's Green Yeen. Because I do be a Yeen and I do be green, so Green Yeen it is. And I love it, and it's so incredibly simple. Yet I've never thought of that. But yeah, love it. I love Zorky so much. But yeah, I think that about does it for this video. I do have to keep it relatively short, quote unquote. I mean, 30 minutes is not short, really. But I am just a maniac like that, doing an experimental video for 30 minutes. But yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope the triggers worked, and I hope that the layered sounds worked. I genuinely hope that. In case you were wondering, my greeting for this video was first of all inspired by someone on Discord, but second of all, I used to have and this is gonna sound bad, but a podcast channel on YouTube, and my greeting or my intro for the podcast would always be hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as well as anyone in between and beyond. And I was reminded of that, and I thought it would be funny to just start a video like that. But yeah, that's just a little, maybe funny info on the side, I don't really know. Well, thank you so much for listening, for taking the time to interact in any way, shape, or form. I hope it worked. I hope it helped you. If you want to, then maybe I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a good night.